game day, guys.
Happy game day to you too, Gabe. I hope you're keeping warm out there. Guy next to me, you're not too warm on quarterbacks. Al, before we talk about Bryce, talk about Jordan Love. What do you like about the way he's playing?
Yeah, I just think he's really accurate in the pocket. And what he's not doing is hurting his team, Mike, by turning the ball over. Jordan Love has found a way to get it to those young, talented receivers who have now grown into their responsibilities. So not turning the ball over. The Panthers need to change that today.
Carolina, coming off a loss, Green Bay has won 3 in a row. Carolina's quarterback was not operating at quite the same efficiency last week. Fortunately for the Panthers, that was the backup in Andy Dalton. This week, they've got their usual number 1 in the lineup. It's Bryce Young, and he's healthy. Young was a full participant all week in practice. Head coach Dave Canales said the team took an aggressive approach to get him back on the field. Young was certainly missed last week after being sidelined with an ankle injury. Dalton had a rather lackluster showing against the Bills. However, we'd later learned he was playing with a broken thumb he suffered earlier in the game. As for Young, he's felt all good at practice all week. Canales is confident he's back today at full force.
He took all the reps today in practice. And we were just smart about what we were asking him to do today, just in the different styles of plays and all that. But he had a good day. We'll keep pushing it a little bit more and see where we're at. We got to be smart, and we got to challenge him physically in the next 2 days to make sure that he can do that. So that's why we're still calling it day to day. You know, we do have to, throw some different types of movements and things at him. But he's focused, he's ready, he's into it. I know he wants to go, and so if he can, he will.
Yeah, it's been making progress. Each day I've been feeling better. So we're all process oriented here, all process driven. Coach says that. It's what we believe in. So been keeping the same process.
Here's a look now at Bryce Young's season stats so far. He's thrown 11 touchdowns and 5 interceptions on the year. He's completed just 61% of his passes. His best game against 2025 came against the Dallas Cowboys, where he went 17 of 25, 199 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 interception. We'll try to limit those turnovers today against Green Bay if the Panthers want to leave Lambeau with a victory. Now, coming back from a week off, how do you think Young is going to do today?
Yeah, I think he just has to go out there and play football. The second, Mike, that he starts thinking about his ankle and the protection and anything else, Micah Parsons across from him, he's going to lose his superpower. His superpower is his ability to maneuver in the pocket. His pocket's presence is at the top of the NFL. And a lot of those touchdown throws, they came because Bryce can make his way through the pocket.
Super Bryce, that's what you're saying.
Super Bryce in the pocket.
Super Bryce. How much of a difference maker is he for Carolina? Were you surprised at all at just how differently they performed without him?
Yeah, he's QB number 1. That team believes in him. This offense operates with Bryce Young, and you can just see it. Those guys know that Bryce understands how to put them in the best position and how to get them the rock.
What does Green Bay try to do to take him off his game, knowing that he's got a week off, maybe just a little bit rusty?
Make the Panthers one-dimensional. Take away the run and let Bryce stand in the pocket and have to beat him with his arms. That's going to be really tough for this offense if they take away the run.
A run game is a storyline we will be following today. Now, Bryce is showing some major growth, but so is the defense. For more on that, we send it back to Gabe at Lambeau Field. Time to channel my inner John Facenda as we look across the frozen tundra and all the success the Packers have had. It is a place that has not been too kind to the black and blue. I'm going to stop that now. The Panthers just 2-6 all time in the stadium. We'll see if they can make it 3-6 today. Kicking things off at 1 o'clock this afternoon. For the play of the week, not too many candidates, so we're going to revisit the lone Carolina touchdown from Week 8. Chuba Hubbard punched it in from 3 yards out. This is surprising. It was actually his first rushing touchdown of the year. His other 2 scores were through the air. Al, even though the game is well out of reach at this point, you got to appreciate the fight from a team-first guy like Chuba.
Yeah, Chuba's a really good team-first guy, and he epitomizes what it means to keep pounding. He's not going to quit.
Well, 2 weeks ago, speaking of the Carolina offense, it received a major boost when Jalen Coker returned from the IR. Al, I know you talked last year to Jalen. What do you remember about that conversation?
Just a guy that's going to carry that chip on his shoulder, the understanding that at any given time, this thing is not guaranteed for an undrafted guy. I was undrafted. You got to love those types of guys and what they bring to the NFL.
Absolutely. He's a year older now and a year wiser, too. Coker caught his first pass of the year last week in the loss to the Bills. Now he wants more. I sat down with him earlier this week. He's the Bosch Boss of the Week. I'm not going to sing it, but I am going to say it. Happy birthday. This is your birthday week. October 30th was your birthday. how does birthdays now look different than they did, I don't know, 10 years ago? You're an NFL star now.
Yeah, I mean, I say not as much cake and streamers and stuff, but still blessed. It's awesome to have another one around the sun, so it's good.
Does it reflect and make you think, like, just how fortunate you've been? I mean, not many people get to live this dream, and here you are now in year 2.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. It's an amazing opportunity and accomplishment for me that I've wanted since I was a kid. So I'm grateful.
Well, I know you're rightfully back on the field. How tough was it to not start this season on the field with everybody?
Yeah, it definitely was unfortunate. I felt like I put a lot of good work together through camp and stuff, and really was building up to break out that first game, and just to kind of have that setback again. It was unfortunate for sure.
I remember talking to one of your teammates. He was out to start the season too, and I was like, aren't there any benefits to, I don't know, being able to kind of step back and look at it? He's like, no, it stunk. I wanted to be out there. Is that how you looked at it, or is there a party that was like, I was able to see X, Y, and Z, and the only way I could see that was by taking a step back?
I would more err towards the side it stunk for sure. Obviously I had to step into a little bit of a different role, so I had to learn how to learn while not being hands-on and doing things. So it was different, but I would have much rather been playing, of course.
Take me back to your rookie season for 1 second. You come from Holy Cross. Was there a sense of, like, when you're meeting guys on the team, did you feel like you had to prove yourself to them?
I think even going into Holy Cross, I felt like I had to prove myself to the seniors that were there. So yeah, I mean, I firmly and truly believe that every team, you have to earn your keep, and you have to show why you belong there, and you can't just join a group just because you get signed or you go there for college or anything. I think you have to earn everything that is given to you.
But I'm not trying to take anything away from where you went to school, but it's not like a Power 5 conference. Was there a stigma associated with that? Like, were people looking at you like, who's this kid from Holy Cross? Did you feel that at all?
I think it doesn't really matter where you go to school as soon as you come into the league. So if you can produce and make plays, and it doesn't really matter.
That was the mindset coming in. Like, yeah. You just, like, it's all about on the field, not necessarily, and that probably helped you too, because you weren't about to get intimidated by anyone that went, say, to Alabama or Michigan or Ohio State, these big legacy schools, right?
Well, I mean, coming out, I was playing those guys in the Hula Bowl and in the Shrine Bowl, so I played against that competition already in all the All-Star games, so I've seen that I can compete at that level. And then I got here, and I still had that same mindset.
What's it like now being in year 2? The first year you come here, you're an underdog, you're undrafted. Do you still have the edge that you had before?
Yeah, of course. I think I always will have the edge. I think just it's been a part of my life. It's been a part of my game since I was young, so it's always going to be there for sure.
How important is that edge to what makes you successful?
Yeah, I think it's the most important. Everyone's so good in this league, so you got to have some type of one-up. You got to do a little bit more, push a little bit more in the weight room, or just get that leg up on everyone, just because everyone is so talented.
Is it manufactured now? Because you're the guy on the team. You have a spot here, right? Or do you not feel like that?
No, I don't think you can ever feel like that.
Not in the NFL?
No, not anywhere. I think you should always expect someone to come in and try to take your spot, especially here. So you're going to have to bring your best every day.
So the bottom line is, nobody better underestimate you.
Yeah.
I like it. Appreciate your time. Thank you
Absolutely.
so much. And happy birthday again.
Thank you.
I like that. Short and to the point. Al, I'll ask you the reverse of it. When you would meet a guy, say from a smaller school, you come from Maryland, it's a bigger school, did you guys underestimate those players sometimes?
No, you always kind of think about how did you get there, how did you get at Holy Cross, but the bottom line is when you walk in the locker room, how can you help us? How can you help us win? And that's the only thing that ever matters when you get with the guys. We all got to play the same game.
To play off his last point, do you ever feel truly safe in the NFL? Do you ever feel truly secure that I got a place here?
Yeah, NFL stands for not for long. I was undrafted. You never feel safe. You go out there and put it on the line every day.
There you go, and that's exactly what Jalen Coker does. Well, still ahead, it's a little circle that is even the playing field. It's the green dot, and you're going to hear how it's used across defenses by the NFL. And all rookies across the NFL have certain duties as they get used to life in the league. For the Panthers, it includes a way to give back to kids while channeling their inner child. We got more Black and Blue Kickoff live in 2 minutes.
Of every defense in the NFL. And for more on that, we send it back down to Mike in the QC.
Thank you very much, Gabe. Now, to be the best in the NFL, you have to have your defense informed. But how do you do that during the game when the league limits communication? It's a big question with a very small circular answer. There was a time when chaos was the norm for defenses all across the NFL.
Everybody, all 11, looking the sideline and getting the calls.
Communication breakdowns were the norm, and offenses ran wild.
Pass wide open.
That is, until the league decided to level the playing field.
When we got the green dot in 2008, it just made so many of those things simpler because not only can you communicate a defensive call, but I can give the green dot the heads up.
The green dot that Panthers defensive coordinator Ejiro Evero is talking about is the logo found on the helmet of one of his players. Typically, it's the middle linebacker that wears it.
They're in the middle of the defense.
And that's why they've got the radio in their helmet, allowing crucial information to be streamlined from the sideline.
Starts off with the calls, obviously, and I mean, that could be the front, the coverage, any alerts, checks we have, and then he might say, like, hey, tell so-and-so this and tell so-and-so that. He's usually pretty good about not having too many things.
Inside the headset,
the player hears this. The sound is pretty clear, but when you have tens of thousands of screaming fans, it can get a little challenging.
Sometimes it is hard to hear, so you see the guys cover up their ears or whatever to hear it.
communication is a one-way street, meaning coaches can talk to the player, but not the other way around.
I don't want to hear what they have to say.
That's because there's quite a bit of hurry-up involved. Instructions start once the play clock begins. Once it reaches 15 seconds,
it just goes up beep, 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 and then it's off.
From there, it's the responsibility of the person with the green dot to pass along the information to the other players on the field.
If you don't get the call to the guys, offense ain't waiting for you to get the call.
As you can imagine, it can get pretty stressful.
Quick pass, they get that and then some.
Then again,
for a couple of years there when the offense had and the defense didn't, there was a big, in my opinion, competitive advantage for them.
It is better than the alternative.
Right, we're set. Lock and loop, kickoff live.
Okay, doing some research here. Al, you just missed the green dot era by 1 year. You retired in 2007. How much of a game changer would it have been for your career if you played with it?
I think a lot. You're able to get that communication in. Coaches are able to speak to our quarterback, now general manager Dan Morgan, and get everyone set up and allow that time for us to process it, get down, get set, and make good plays.
Where quickly was it as chaotic as they described it at first?
It was. Hand signals, guys moving all over the place. Sometimes you kept it simple. Just line up and play a base front.
All right, well, straight ahead, the Panthers have two solid running backs. However, only one can start against the Packers. Who's the true number one for today? We'll have the answers next. Plus, what are the main things the Panthers need to do to focus on to pull an upset today? The three keys coming up when BBKL continues. Happy game day to you too, Gabe. Yeah, tough test here for Carolina today. They're coming off a loss as well. How do you think they're feeling?
Yeah, I think they're feeling like this is a great opportunity against a good Green Bay Packers team, and you're in one of the most historic buildings in the NFL. Bryce Young was hurt last week. He comes back this week. Let's see what we have. Let's see if we can get it going and get back to where this team was a couple of weeks ago.
You got me fired up right
Ready
now.
to go.
I'm ready to go. It's the big reason why Al is here. It is time for the three keys to the game. Key number one, Al, I know you want the Carolina Panthers to stay on script. This is something Dave Canales admits he has not done in recent weeks. You want him getting back to that, right?
Yeah, I think you have to stay with the rushing attack, Mike. You have to stay with it even when it's not working. Let's get after this team, slow down that pass rush. The way you do that is to dominate the line of scrimmage. Rico Dowdle will probably get the first touch in this football game. He's been a very explosive running back. Lean on that even when it gets rocky, and I'm certain that it will in Green Bay. You have to be consistent and committed to the running attack. That's the one thing that works, and taking the pressure off of Bryce Young.
But that's not all. Key number two, you want to see them add more screen passes into their game plan. Could be Chuba, could be Rico, any of the wide receivers really. Al, I know you want to make the pass rushers guess.
Yeah, you got to make them guess. It worked against me and my teammates, our great pass rushing defensive line in the early 2000s. The way you slow guys down like Rashawn Gary and Micah Parsons is you use that speed and aggressiveness against them, and you dump some screens down, you whip it out to your really athletic wide receivers, and you try to get some blocks and some matchups to see if you can get guys like that, Jimmy Horn Jr., going down the field with the ball in their hands. So kind of use those guys. Invite them in. Open the door. Let's go. See if you can get the Bryce Young, and then boom, the ball is gone in the hands of the receivers down the field for big pickups.
You want to trick them a little bit.
A little bit of trickery.
I like
today.
that. Third key, and I think this is the censored version of what you actually want to say, hit the heck out of Jordan Love. Is that right? It's the censored
We're
version.
going to be nice here. It's Sunday. The kids are watching. Just little love taps, Mike. Love taps against Jordan Love. We want to make sure that you hit him, that he knows you're there, that he feels the pass rush, the presence. This guy hasn't turned the ball over at all this year. Just 2 interceptions. This team and Jordan Love is doing a really good job. The more you can touch him, the more he feels that pressure, the faster the processing in the pocket will speed up. You have to get to Jordan Love. You can't allow him to sit in the pocket. The way you do that, sacks the ultimate goal, but make sure you get some hits on Jordan Love. It's the small taps that add up in the fourth quarter.
So just like bbkl, Al's 3 big keys are fit for the entire family.
The entire family.
I like
Family
that.
friendly here.
There you go, the 3 big keys. I'll send it back to Gabe, who has been contemplating how much cheese is just enough for one sitting.
Honestly, a heck of a lot. I mean, I had some Cajun cheese curds yesterday. They were really good. You know, I got to stick to my Louisiana roots and kind of mix in what we got here in Wisconsin. Probably got more on the menu tonight, and maybe up.
Thank you very much, Gabe. I'm going to go on a limb and say the Panthers are going to have their hands full with one Micah Parsons today.
He's an absolute nightmare. The first thing you have to do, Mike, is find him on the field. He's going to try to find the weakest link.
All right, Parsons, one of the best pass rushers in the NFL, so the Panthers will be at their best to try to monitor him today. It might be a long day up front for them, especially with their banged-up offensive line. According to Pro Football Focus, Parsons has logged 7 sacks already this season, earning himself top-rated among pass rushers with 93. That's the best of all edge rushers this season. The Panthers are quite familiar with Parsons, specifically his former teammate Rico Dowdle. How can they stop the hunter, as Parsons calls himself?
Just got to be aware of where he's at. You have to have things to consider with your protection and, helping on the edges. He's a fantastic player. So having that awareness, knowing when we're attacking and how to attack is really important.
A guy like that you always have to have a plan for. You're always aware of. Again, we have a ton of respect for him, have a ton of respect for them as a defense. That's a great player on that side. He's young, but I think he's going to have an all-time great career, already kind of has.
Looking forward to it, looking forward to playing against Micah and the whole Green Bay defense. Like I said, he was one of those guys that I did have conversation with every day in Dallas, so definitely be fun getting to go against him.
Ooh, it sounds like he's in their head a little bit. Al, who's going to have the toughest job today individually for Carolina in trying to stop Micah?
It has to be the left tackle, Ike Ekwonu. He's going to be tasked, I think, most of the time of stopping Micah coming off the blind side. You just got to get some help. You got to run some people at him. You got to throw the timing off, but it's going to be a long day.
He's had an up and down season, mostly good though, so here's hoping he can have another good day today if you're a Carolina fan. Well, still ahead, who is in and who's out for the Panthers against Green Bay? Well, Carolina gets one big man back. They lose another. We'll have the latest injury report coming up next. And later, just 2 days after Halloween, we've got a thriller of an interview, an exclusive with Panthers cornerback Mike Jackson. Not Michael Jackson, Mike Jackson. That is next on BBKL. Like the optimism, Tara, Vegas not quite as optimistic when it comes to the Panthers. They were 11-point underdogs starting the week. They're now 12.5. The over-under set at 44.5. The book slightly favored the under in this matchup. The Panthers are 6.5 to 1 on the money line. Packers are minus 1,000 right now. They're a huge favorite. We're going to see where the points lie just a little bit later. At the odds from the books, now it's time to give our 2 cents. Al, who are you picking today?
I'm going to go with the Green Bay Packers. I think it's a copycat league, and you look at the way the Buffalo Bills ran the ball. Josh Jacobs is really tough. Jordan Love, this team looked good. Micah Parsons is hunting today.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you on this one. I'm going Packers. Gabe, come on, break it here. Are you going Panthers today in Lambeau?
I can't do it.